Hello, and welcome to your Mining Disrupt news update for Friday, August 18th, 2023. As always, absolutely nothing I say on this channel should be taken as financial advice. Everything I say here is for entertainment and education purposes only. And if you're interested in partnering with us as a sponsor, please reach out. Also, make sure you scan the QR code right there so you can get your tickets to Mining Disrupt 2024, happening once again in Miami, Florida, June 24th through the 27th. Right now, we are looking at a single Bitcoin price of $29,099.98. And if you want to trade dollars for sats, you will get 3,437 sats per dollar. The average block time is a rather blistering 9 minutes and 17 seconds, meaning the next difficulty adjustment will be an upward shift of 7.81%. The hash rate for the last 14 days is an average of 391 because the daily, if we take a quick look at that, is over 423. The 7-day average is a little over 400, 14 days, 391. Pretty dang high. We've got 3 stories to hit today, and they all point to the same thing. A bull market is on the horizon. I couldn't tell you when it's coming, but it does seem to be inching ever closer. This here from Cointelegraph from Gareth Jenkinson. Perfect storm for undervalued ASICs. Blockstream plans $50 million raise to buy miners. According to Macedonio, the price of ASIC miners, specialized hardware used to mine proof-of-work cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, is nearly 10 times lower than their peak around December 2021, so about 2 years ago, year and 8 months ago. The price of Bitcoin is half of what it was, but ASICs are a tenth of what they were, and historically, they've been highly correlated. Blockstream's team has previously noted that the value of ASIC miners typically correlates to the price movements of Bitcoin, with Bitcoin appreciation leading to an increase in miner prices. Makes perfect sense to me. Think of it like the gold rush days. If there's a bunch of people going to a place because there's a bunch of gold there, or even perceived gold there, then shovels, the thing that you need to get the gold, are going to go up in price. So if you position yourself to be in line so that the miners come through needing to buy your shovels, you stand to make a lot of money. Whether or not you have anything to directly do with the gold, you're selling shovels to the people going to get the gold. Same thing here. You could think of it like this. There's Bitcoin in them hills, boys, and we need them ASICs to mine it out. Macedonio notes that some factors have impacted the stagnant price of mining hardware compared with Bitcoin's recent price recovery to current levels of around 30,000. A lot of companies over-leveraged themselves using Bitcoin as collateral. So, when Bitcoin went down, they defaulted. Some of those lenders had a large inventory of miners that were pushed into the market. He goes on to say, if Bitcoin goes to 70,000 or more, people are going to try to get their hands on any ASICs they can just to start mining because their profitability would be so great. Think of the gold in them hills again. Your shovel goes up in value because the gold that it can get is going up in value. So if you're a shovel retailer, then you stand to make a pretty penny. So they're just positioning themselves to be in line to catch on when that bull run comes. When the bulls come charging in, headed to the Bitcoin hills to go a-mining, they're gonna need the ASICs. And Blockstream seems like it's positioned itself to be in a really good position to take advantage of that. And a little bit more on the mining news front over here from Bitcoin.com. Bitmain to reveal groundbreaking Antminer S21 at 2023 World Digital Mining Summit. The device, christened the Antminer S21, is being hailed by Bitmain as the market's most proficient miner, marking a pivotal shift in the industry into the 1x joules per terahash era. Bitmain announced that it will hold the summit in Hong Kong from September 22nd to the 23rd, 2023, and release the latest Antminer S21 Bitcoin mining machine, proclaimed the reporter on the social media platform X. It claims that the energy efficiency ratio is lower than 20 joules per terahash for the first time. Back in May, Bitmain's rival MicroBT took the wraps off a hydro-cooling WhatsMiner machine designated the M53S++, boasting up to 320 terahash per second and an efficiency ratio of 22 joules per terahash. In comparison, Bitmain's top-performing miners, the Antminer S19 Pro Hydro and the Antminer S19 XP Hydro, achieved 184 terahashes and 257 terahashes, respectively. The XP Bitcoin mining machine crafted by Bitmain narrowly approaches the 20 joules per terahash mark, registering at 20.8 joules per terahash. It's pretty simple here. The more efficient your machines, the more Bitcoin you get for less money. You pay less money for the electricity, and you get more Bitcoin. Pretty straightforward. And last, but certainly not least, we've got this bit of news. Jacoby Asset Management has made history by listing the first spot Bitcoin ETF in Europe on Euronext Amsterdam. Now, I'm going to imagine you've already subscribed to Mining Disrupt and have liked this video, maybe left a comment down below to keep the conversation about Bitcoin going. But the thing here is that Bitcoin is getting more and more mainstream attention. People are talking about Bitcoin. People are coming to understand the importance of a hard, sound money. And whether people get exposure to Bitcoin directly, maybe they go to some popular exchange, buy it, and take it into cold storage. Self-custody is really the only way to operate in the Bitcoin space. Or they get exposure through an ETF. Doesn't really matter in the long run. Now, my personal take, Dell's personal opinion on this is that if you're not taking your Bitcoin into self-custody, then you're doing something a little bit wrong, or you just lack education and you need to learn and talk to some people and figure out why that is so important to do, because it is extremely important to be the only one that is in control of your money. That should be something that you have 100% control over. Now, if you're in a position where maybe you have a 401k or you have some sort of investment plan, or maybe your asset management is done by somebody else, then I can totally understand where the ETF comes into play. And when we're talking about pension funds and all sorts of different large big-time players where people aren't directly managing their own finances, I do think that an ETF has a place. I don't think it's the end-all be-all, but it is good to see more people getting exposure to Bitcoin that otherwise maybe wouldn't have. Maybe they were on the fence about it. Maybe they weren't even on the fence. Maybe they were completely on the other side of the fence and they went, I don't know about this Bitcoin thing. I've heard people talking about it, but I don't really understand it. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. But then along comes a place like Jacoby Asset Management. Along comes Fidelity. Along comes BlackRock. Along comes these different individuals, these different entities that are looking to get into the Bitcoin space, and that will lend legitimacy to Bitcoin as a whole. Now, I don't think that Bitcoin needs any more legitimacy. I think it's as legitimate as it's ever going to be. It is what it is, and once you understand what it is, then it's hard to unsee that. But after you take those couple of steps down the Bitcoin rabbit hole and you go, I think there's something here, and then you take a few more steps and you go, okay, there actually really does seem to be something in this space, and I should do more research, and then you take the full-on tumble and you're hundreds, if not thousands of hours into your Bitcoin education experience, then you'll see what hundreds of thousands, millions of other people around the world have seen. That when it comes to money, there really isn't anything else that makes nearly as much sense as Bitcoin. Once it all clicks together and you get answers to all of your questions, all of those good questions that anybody entering the space will have. How will it get shut down? Can it be shut down? Why does 21 million? Why the hard cap? All of those questions. Once they all get answered and every single one of your questions does have an answer, then it's hard, if not impossible, to see how revolutionary an idea Bitcoin is. And with that said, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Until next time.